everyone. I am Melanie Youngsma, publisher of the Lansing Journal. We are Lansing's only newspaper, and we are committed to keeping our diverse community informed and connected. This week is sort of the start of the school season again. It's mid-August, and things are starting up. That includes school sports. So I'm standing here at Red Wolves Stadium outside of TF South, and my plan is to meet up with Mike Clark, our sports reporter, to see what sports look like in the upcoming season. So let's go inside. Mike, thanks for meeting with us here today. This is kind of the start of your fall season, right?
Yeah, today is the very first day for practice for all the fall sports. The almost brand new TF South outdoor athletic complex. The football field was finished late last football season, so they played a few games here. They're playing 6 games here, I believe, this year because they had to move the schedule around last year to make sure that they were able to play all their games. But as you look behind us, you can see it's a gorgeous facility. It's a turf field. They've got the new track, which we talked about a little bit in the spring, obviously, too, when they dedicated the Rich Dust track. But so it's the first day of football, first day of other fall sports, including boys and girls cross country, girls volleyball, girls swimming, boys and girls golf, and those are the sports that our teams are involved in. On the Illinois side, obviously, we cover Indiana Christian too. There's a few other sports in Indiana, but those are the main sports we're looking at this fall.
Well, let's talk about the field for a minute. This is the first full season that they'll play on this field. And are there kids who are returning who had to get used to a new? Is it a big difference when you're on a new field like this, a new surface?
Yeah, it is a big difference. There's a difference between playing on grass and playing on artificial turf like this is. Especially late in the season when the weather gets a little iffy. We can get some rain, we can get some snow even sometimes. This field is going to play a little bit better. It's not going to get beaten up like the grass field would. It also doesn't have the crown. The grass field always had kind of a crown because you wanted the water to drain off, obviously. This one is completely flat. So,
okay.
But yeah, and there's other improvements too. The lights are new, and people will notice that for sure.
The players will notice it as well as
the players will notice it. It's brighter, number one, and also, like when we have like halftime festivities or they turn the lights off and turn them back on. Now they come back on immediately. It's not like the old days where you'd have to wait 5 minutes or so.
Fluorescence to warm up.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's, they can do different things like even with the halftime shows with the marching band performance and stuff like that. So they can turn the lights off and turn them back on. But it's a better experience. You can kind of notice too, around they've kind of spruced up things a little bit all around the complex as well. So I think it's going to be a great fan experience. And Friday nights in Lansing in the fall, football's a big deal here. TF South draws better than a lot of schools around the south suburbs. It's just a kind of a community thing, obviously, which we're big on at the Journal. It's a big community experience. Even obviously the parents come out and the friends and people like that. But I mean, you'll see people here in the stands who've been coming to TF South football games for 40 years. It's not unusual.
Let's talk a little bit about how you cover sports. You know all of the coaches, for one thing. Since this is the first time the team or the players are meeting, do you already know some of them from previous years? Are there a lot of new faces?
Yes, I do know a lot of them. Because I was out here a few times in the summertime. Every program, not just football, but the other sports as well, have some summertime activities where the coaches get together with the athletes and they kind of prepare for the upcoming season. So I did get a chance to, and I mean, there are a lot of kids back from last year. This is a veteran team for TF South. They're hoping that this year is better than the last couple of teams. They finished 3-6 the last last 2 years missed the playoffs, which is unusual for this program. This has been one of the more consistent programs in the south suburbs over the years, and they're hoping to get back to the state playoffs this year. I don't remember what the exact number is, but they've got something like 27, 28 seniors on the team, and most of those seniors played a significant amount last year, so they're definitely looking for a better season this year.
Okay. So you're not just like showing up at a game and reporting what happens. You're doing research ahead of time. You were
Right.
You're working all summer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You don't get summers off.
No, we don't get summers off, just like you. But yeah, I mean, in terms of how I do it, I reach out to the coaches, via text, phone call, sometimes email. I come out here as well. I mean, it's reporting is reporting pretty much. It's the same way, that you report around the community as well. You have to be out and be on the ground, basically. So that's what I try to do, just like you are when you're going to the village board meeting or the D215 board meeting. And I know that I don't go on walks around the community like you and Scout do, but I try to keep my ear to the ground. So we have 3 football teams in our coverage area. We cover TF North because it's in the District 215, same school district, obviously. Marian Catholic we cover. Traditionally, they've drawn a lot of students, and they have a lot of alumni in the Lansing area. Ileana Christian, of course, used to be located in Lansing, and there are many alumni of Ileana Christian still in Lansing, obviously. A few kids, current kids who go in there now. And then this year, something brand new, we're adding a new school to our coverage area, our 5th high school, which is Unity Christian Academy in South Holland. And the Journal has covered Unity's move into its new location in South Holland, which is a good thing, I'm guessing, because it means that they needed more room. So,
right.
And they have more room now. It's a small school, a small athletic program, but they've had some success, particularly in basketball last winter, and we're excited to be adding another school.
So it makes sense for Unity to be in the Lansing Journal's coverage area, and it was thoughtful of you to pick up on their sports program and offer to cover that.
Right, and like I said, we have other sports going on today too. They're starting here at TF South and at the other Illinois schools. Actually, some of the schools, or some of the programs rather, started earlier on the Indiana side. Indiana has an even earlier fall sports schedule than Illinois does. So
it does feel early, doesn't it?
Right. So some of the Ileana teams are already in action. Actually, the girls golf team has already played a few matches.
Wow.
But we will be reporting on all of those. Something the readers can look forward to. We're going to be previewing all 3 of the football teams, and which we've done in the past. And something new we're going to try this year is we're going to try to post season previews for other sports as well as football, and we'll see if the coaches cooperate.
Big plans.
Yeah, and but I mean we're always trying to figure out how we can serve our readers in new and different ways, and we appreciate your support. You've received some emails from Melanie, and your support is so important to what we do.
It's the only way we can keep doing it.
Absolutely. We are determined to keep the coverage free, not behind a paywall like some other publications do. All of our coverage is free. It goes out every morning. Hopefully you subscribe to the email. If you don't, I'm sure Melanie will post a link.
Let's put the link in.
Yes, and you can always find the information or the stories on our website as well. And sports coverage I try to push out as well on my social media. So we're really looking forward to covering another school year of sports. And I should mention we also cover South Suburban College too, which of course is the closest junior college to Lansing, and it's in Lansing is in the South Suburban District as well. They've had a lot of success, especially in men's basketball, which we've reported on as well. So, we try to cover everything of interest. We've written some stories recently. The Lansing Little League team just went to the state tournament for the first time in quite a while. So we report on other sports besides high school sports. And if you have any ideas, please reach out to me. Reach out to Melanie. I am on X at Mike Clark Preps, and would love to hear from you with any ideas you have for our coverage, any comments, and any questions you might have.
Yeah, and I'll just add that, Mike, you've really enhanced our sports reporting, and I think a big part of that is because you understand that it's not just sports. This is important community news, and families like to see their kids in the newspaper, and you do a great job of really telling the story of some of these players and how they got to where they are and what their future plans are. Mm-hmm. It's not just what's happening on the field, but you get to know these guys and share their stories.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. I mean, there are a lot of places today where you can find out the final score of the TF South football game, and we want to give you a little bit of value added to what you might want to know about the TF South or TF North or Marion or the other schools. If you went to the football game, if you go to the football game on Friday night, we want you to come back to the Lansing Journal and to see more about that football game that you may not have picked up just by sitting in the stands. And that's kind of what our goal is. Yeah, as you said, we try to get beyond. We report on the highlights, obviously. It's somebody throws a couple of touchdown passes or something like that, but we want to let people get to know the athletes as well, because a lot of them have compelling stories. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's all part of the community.
Christian Streeter is probably the best player on the team coming back. He was probably the best player on the team last year. He's kind of a multi-purpose guy, a Swiss Army knife kind of a player. He can play running back, he can play receiver, he can play a little bit of quarterback. Nick Ford, who is the returning starting quarterback, is back. He's got some more experience. We're looking forward to him making a jump this year. And again, just the overall experience on the field is a big thing, basically, because they have so many seniors who've been in the program for 4 years. A lot of them have been 2-year starters. Christian was on the team as a sophomore as well. So that's one of the big reasons for optimism this year, is they feel like with the experience they'll be able to make that jump back into the playoffs and they're trying to get to 5 wins at least, more than that if they can, to get back into the state playoffs, which has been kind of an expectation here for years, even though they missed it the last couple of years.
All right. We will look forward to an exciting football season at TF South, and all of the other sports you mentioned, tennis and swimming and
volleyball and cross country. Yes.
Good times. Thank you, Mike, for your fine reporting.
I'm glad to be back for another year.
And thank you for your readership and your viewership. We will see you again next week.